Remember you asked me, I think last week or 2 weeks ago when we were driving, what is one learning? What is my biggest learning from this year?
Yes.
I've pondered on that a little bit, and I came to the conclusion that the biggest learning for me would likely be the patience. And I'm not talking about patience in personal life, it's something that I'm still working on, but patience with your team members, with your coworkers, with your employees. That's something that I think I was lacking the skill set for before. And when I say lacking, I don't necessarily mean that I wasn't patient before. I could never understand as to why people move so slow. You know, when you're always goal-oriented individual who is just looking to crush all of your goals, staying on top of everything, you just don't understand why some people don't live the same way, why they're slow, why they're not prioritizing things that need to be prioritized. Even your own employees or team members, when you explain to them what needs to be done, they still take their time to do that. And you just get frustrated as to why it's taking them so long. When you give them a clear deadline, you explain what needs to be done, and you provide the process. And, I think I learned this year to be a lot more patient with my team. Once I created my own team, before that I just used to work in organizations and I led teams, or I was a part of the team and co-working with other people. But here I built my own team this year, and it's been different in terms of how I approach talking to those people and the amount of frustration I get in my reaction as well. Because as a leader, I had to grow to lead them by example, to show them how I operate and how I respond during challenging situations, and just give them some grace. Because it's important to remember for all of us, I think, that we are people. Things happen in our lives. I can have my family member die or something happening to them, especially during the times like this where there's so many wars around the globe. You have to be real. And it's just, everybody can have issues in their life, and we tend to forget about that when we are super focused on building a company or trying to accomplish some client's goal, and we put the humans second, if that makes sense. In our team second, we focus on driving results first, and we forget about the fact that it's a team who produces the results for the clients. So we have to give them grace when they need it, especially if there's a valid reason, and be understanding and be flexible and help them prioritize things if they have issues with pushing back on you, or maybe they're just too scared to push back on you, and you keep on giving them tasks and they say, oh yes, I will do this, even when there's a deadline, and they just get overwhelmed because they're so scared of you. They may not even tell you that they're overwhelmed or overloaded with work. And then when the conversation comes around as to, hey, why was it not done? They start saying this, and only then do you understand that they didn't have the bandwidth, but they never communicated to you because they were too scared, because you created a culture that didn't give the option to employees to speak up. And I think that's something that I didn't have, but maybe with some team members, we experienced that. And I didn't understand it fully until maybe the second half, or maybe even the very end of the year, to be very careful with how you communicate with the team. Yes, as leaders, we can say whatever, like when we build our own company, we are ultimately the bosses, we can say whatever we want. But it's extremely important to be careful with the words you pick and say to your team, and how you lead them, and how you provide support and guide them, and help them prioritize tasks. And yes, that's something I thought I was good at before, but turned out I wasn't as good at it until I saw the challenges that arose this year, and how I handled helping the team prioritize different things and overcome those challenges as well. So that would be, something that I've learned this year. And like I said, I thought I know this, and turns out I wasn't as good at it as I thought. And the only way I would have known that is by creating my own team and starting to lead and growing rather aggressively, and putting myself in a situation, or putting myself under the pressure where I have no option but to find a solution, to become a better leader, to provide better structure and organization and processes and systems to our team, and as well as tools. Sometimes we would be super demanding from our team, but then they would not have the necessary tools or training to tackle those things necessarily in a way that we want them to be tackled. So I take it upon myself in the new year to provide my team with the best training possible, to give them the knowledge, skill set, and expertise needed to help us grow to the next level, and also improve their skill set, makes them more valuable on the market, and helps them grow as both employees or experts in their respective careers and fields of work, as well as human beings, just in personal lives. That's something I try to emphasize now a lot more as well. Instead of just thinking about my employees as machines who are just supposed to do the work, I really want to emphasize the human aspect and help them get better in not just business, but life, and overcome their challenges as well. Because if something is going on in their personal life, I know for a fact, and you know that too, because you had that shit happen to you as well, I'm sure, you cannot do your best when you don't feel in the right mental headspace, if that makes sense. And we all know that we need to do what we need to do irrespective of how we feel. I always preach that, but you cannot deny that when some shit happens, you will be deviating from your ideal course no matter what you try to do, just because we're all humans. And if you don't feel any emotions, well, great for you. You know, I'm still a human, and I'm prone to making mistakes. I'm not a robot. Again, I want to make sure that my team knows that this is our company is a safe place for them to speak up, to share their concerns, to share their objections, to share their expertise and beliefs, especially if they believe that whatever they think will be a better way of doing things will help us get those results. I want to hear all of the perspectives and then discuss it as a team, and then maybe decide as a leader on the best way to move forward, but still give the team an option to share all of their opinions and potential ways of how we can proceed with whatever the challenge that we are facing at the moment, or whatever business or product or service we are planning to launch or introduce to our clients. Yes, that will be the biggest lesson for me in 2024, just being more patient with my team, making sure that I can have this opportunity to provide them with a safe workspace where they can speak up.